Belichick and the Patriots are keeping it close to the vest. Shocking as to who will start at quarterback when Brock Osweiler and the Texans come to town tonight. Jimmy Garoppolo or the rookie Jacoby Brissett? It's a game-time decision, folks. Houston is favored by 1, and their head coach, Bill O'Brien, he's very familiar with Belichick, being his former OC and assistant. Max, let's start with you. What chance do you give the Pats tonight with uncertainty at quarterback and potentially with Gronk?
Texans are going to win this game.
Oh.
Texans are going to win this game. And the Patriots are so ridiculously great because of Bill Belichick and the whole organization that comes as a shock. Like, think about this. Against what other team who's missing their Hall of Fame quarterback, their excellent young backup, their likely Gronk, best offensive player who's not the quarterback, Dion Lewis, who's their third down back. They're missing all this, and still people are like, whoa, look at this.
That's a good point.
The Texans, who are 2-0, who have a quarterback who so far is earning his contract, which surprises me to tell you the truth, although given the way Fuller has played, opposite DeAndre Hopkins, who's an elite receiver, they have real targets. Lamar Jackson on the brain. Yep. Lamar Miller running the ball now. But I think more than anything, this is going to be a coming-out party for Jadeveon Clowney. Clowney, when he has been on the field, has become an underrated player. Not like he doesn't sack the quarterback a whole lot, and that's what people are expecting, although he hadn't always been lining up on the blind side of the quarterback either, but he's been good against the run. He's just been an overall good defensive player. And now, I know they move Watt all over the line. They do a lot of things with that line. But now he ain't playing linebacker. He's not on the left side. You see him more on the right side, coming in from the blind side. I expect some sacks, too, especially the way J.J. Watt's been playing. You don't want to go in his direction. I think there's going to be a coming-out party for Jadeveon Clowney, Stephen A., and I think the Texans win this game. And if Gronk doesn't play, if he's in fact out, I think they easily cover the spread.
I got the Patriots winning tonight. I think the Patriots are going to find a way. I think Jacoby Brissett is going to start. By the way, I'm rooting for him to start. Do y'all know that he would be the first African-American to start at quarterback in Patriots history, and the only other team in NFL history that has not had a black quarterback are the New York Giants? Did y'all know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, well, we learn something new every day.
Huh.
Here's the deal. I'm rooting for him. I want him to do well. I believe he will. I just believe in Bill Belichick. I believe particularly when he's going up against coaches he's familiar with.
Yes.
His proteges per se. I like Bill O'Brien. I'm a fan of his. I think he's a damn good coach. And I'm a fan of Rick Smith, the general manager, as well. Jadeveon Clowney, I'm not sold on yet. I'm not saying the brother can play. I just need to see more, whether or not he's dependable, whether or not he's reliable. I don't know if this is a coming-out party. Houston's a number 3 ranked defense. They're number 3 against the pass. I assume they can get at the quarterback, because anytime you got a J.J. Watt in the lineup, you're going to have an opportunity to get to the quarterback. But I just see the New Englands, whether it's with Hogan, whether it's with Bennett, obviously Edelman or whomever, I just think they find ways to get it done. And LeGarrette Blount has been running the ball effectively as well. Houston ranks 12th against the run. Not great, but not poor. I just look at New England. I see them getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands. I don't see Houston's pass rush being that formidable for New England in this game, because I think that Belichick is going to have this kid getting rid of the ball quicker. I think New England's defense will find a way to make plays, because I'm not sure about how ready Brock Osweiler is yet. And whether if you key in on DeAndre Hopkins and force Brock Osweiler to go elsewhere, I think he's going to be a bit tentative. I watched Houston last week against Kansas City. Surprised me a little bit, but what I saw was Bill O'Brien getting the ball out of Brock Osweiler's hands quick as well, sort of reminiscent of what Bill Belichick does. But I don't believe anybody knows how to do Bill Belichick better than Bill Belichick. More importantly, I don't think anybody knows how to defend against Bill Belichick better than Bill Belichick.
You know what the problem is with playing the Patriots? I think, look, there's a famous saying from a book called The Sweet Science, A.J. Liebling's classic. Boxing is chess played on human bodies. And I never thought that was right, because the difference in athletic ability between two boxers can be so different that it's not even chess anymore. It's a different game. Chess, you have the same pieces, both sides. Football is much more like chess played on human bodies, and the player is the coach. The coach is the chess player. That's the Grand Master, and that's who Bill Belichick is. He's the greatest chess player with human bodies of all time.
Well,
and there
you're
is
saying chess, but you know something? He reduces it to checkers when you go up against him, particularly if you're somebody that he has groomed. That's where I'm going with this.
My point about Belichick is when you say, oh, they're going to play the Patriots. Who are the Patriots? The Patriots change week to week based on what they need to do. They're like the T-1000 from Terminator 2. Remember, you could just like morph into anything you needed to be? That's the Patriots. Like liquid metal. They just, all this is one week it's the defense, the next week it's the offense, it's the running game, it's the passing game, they're getting after the quarterback, they're stopping the run. They do what they need to do. In this case, I think there is a tipping point of talent where the Patriots are shorthanded enough that all that stuff is not going to matter because they're also facing, I mean, it'll matter, it'll make it a closer game than it should be, but they're also facing a good coach with an improving quarterback who has weapons everywhere you look, and a defense that can get after the passer and stuff the run. And I think LeGarrette Blount, I think they're going to rely on him. When you consider what weapons they have, what options they have, if I'm the Patriots, I'm going to try to run. And that's another reason I think Clowney's going to have a big game. I just think that this is, it's not a physically fair matchup at this point. And given the fact that the Texans can also play and can also be coached up, I like them to win and cover the spread.
And I also think you're not taking something into consideration, because obviously I disagree with you. I think you're wrong. I think that when you look at Brissett, even if it's Brissett in there as opposed to Garoppolo, think about the weapons that they have available. Edelman, Amendola, Hogan, Bennett, 5 receptions, 114 yards last week. Think about what I'm saying. Outside of Bennett, all of those names are familiar names.
No Hightower on defense, by the way.
I understand that. That's why they ranked 15th overall and 28th against the pass, no question. But I think that could be a mistake because you're 28th against the pass. We see, things that we can take advantage of, vulnerability in their secondary maybe. Brock Osweiler throws more, plays right into my hands. Whereas offensively, the familiarity between the guys that are on the field with Brissett, with Belichick coaching them on a Thursday night, I'm going to roll.
How many reps has how many reps? Yeah, short week.
Short
but how
week.
Listen, but I always say like Belichick with time to prepare. This is less time to prepare.
No, I'm thinking about them having less time to prepare for Belichick.
Therefore, maybe it's more about the athletes on the field. I like the Texans there, and Brissett. How many snaps has he had? How many with the first unit?
On paper, you're 100% right, but I'm with Stephen A. here. Bill Belichick on Thursday night prime time. I just can't count him out.
Yeah, Max is a professor, so whatever he's going to always go to the paperwork, and that's what you're doing. You're going to
paperwork.
Listen, if I was a betting woman, which I'm not, I wouldn't want to be picking this game. So Max going with the Texans, Stephen A. with the Pats. What do you
guys think? You're out of the eliminator pool already. What are you talking about the paperwork?
Who the hell thought the Rams were going to win?
Go on Twitter now. We'll do eliminator picks also later. We'll share your results a little later, but we want to hear your thoughts on today's game. Tough one to pick.
There's the snap, Garoppolo. Here comes pressure from the end. Over the middle, toss, touchdown, Amendola. 10-yard touchdown pass, the third in the first half, coming for Jimmy Garoppolo. Rolling to his right against pressure from Alonso, completes it to Mitchell, the rookie.
And Jimmy Garoppolo is hurt. His right shoulder is bothering him. He's bending over. He's now down on one knee. If the trainers come out, he's going to have to come out of the game for a play. And so now the rookie quarterback, Jacoby Brissett from North Carolina State, is going to have to come in the game here.
Week 3 kicks off tonight. Yes, sir. It's the Texans and the Patriots in Foxborough, but it remains to be seen who will start at quarterback for New England. Jimmy G listed as doubtful, and if he doesn't play, the rookie Jacoby Brissett will get his first start. Mark Schlereth, our friend in the house. How we doing?
What's up?
I'm good, man. How you guys doing?
I'm good.
We're
It was good when you were here.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, great. I appreciate it.
We need you to break this down for us,
All right.
for these concerned Patriots fans out there. If it's Jacoby at the helm, can the Patriots still win?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? I mean, here's the thing about the New England Patriots. First and foremost, there's two types of teams in the NFL, and Max and I were talking about this in the break. There's the team that basically says, this is who we are, this is what we do, we're going to go out there and try to cram it down your throat. And then there's the New England Patriots. They are like, what do you do poorly, and we're going to attack that. What do you do well? We'll stay away from that. And essentially, we're going to change from week to week who we are and what we do. And you go back to that game last week where Jimmy Garoppolo was just cutting them up. The play design was incredible. The ball was out of the quarterback's hands. There were times where it was 1.8 seconds gone. Now, just for you, like if you and I are going against each other in a one-on-one pass rush, for you to beat me clean, I'm playing guard, you're playing defense. For you to beat me clean without me touching you, takes about 1.7 seconds to get the
So
quarterback.
you do everything right and you blow it as an offensive lineman, and they do everything right.
I whiff, and it's going to still take you 1.7 seconds to get the quarterback. So the ball is out in 1.08, 1.21, 1.36. I mean, it was like you're watching, you're going, this is incredible. And so they'll give him a plan to get the ball out of his hands quickly. And, this is an incredibly tough matchup. Now, the Texans are really good. Defensively, they're outstanding. They still have some issues on the offensive side of the ball. They're still turning the ball over. But I don't put anything past Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots.
I don't put it past them either, but do you think they're actually going to win?
No. I think the Houston Texans are going to win. I think this defense is outstanding. They lead the league in sacks. They've got a bunch of different guys. Finally, they put Jadeveon Clowney at defensive end and start messing with trying to make him something that he's not.
Yeah,
so they've done a good job with that. Yeah, so they've done a good job with that. J.J. Watt, still coming off that back injury, isn't what he's been in the past, but is getting better. You saw him make plays last week. I still think the Houston Texans defensively are outstanding. I think they win this game simply mostly because of the third-string quarterback that's going to play tonight. But still, I'll sit and watch this game tonight, and I won't be shocked at all if the New England Patriots win it.
I'm rolling with the Patriots. I'm rolling with the Patriots because I think a couple of things. Number one, even though Jacoby Brissett is a rookie, even though he's inexperienced, he's surrounded by experience. Bennett may be new, but Edelman is not new. Amendola is not new. Hogan is not new. LeGarrette Blount is not new. That offensive line, even though it's not elite, it's not bad. I think about New England, and I also think about Bill Belichick and coaching against Bill O'Brien. And proteges don't necessarily have success against Bill Belichick, if I remember correctly. I don't have their record in front of me. I didn't look that up. So if I'm wrong in any way, I apologize. But that's not my recollection, what happened to him when he goes up against a Romeo Crennel or anybody else. I don't look at it that way.
Mangini beat him in Cleveland.
He did. And beat him
for the most part, nobody beats Bill Belichick.
But let me get to this bigger point. Jadeveon Clowney, because Max keeps bringing that name up. Now, I'm not saying that Jadeveon Clowney can't play. I know better. I know how big time he was at South Carolina. I see a guy that takes plays off. I see a guy that's never been healthy on the NFL level. I see a guy that can be exploited. Now, Houston assisted in that in terms of how they used him. Now that they're not messing around anymore and they've got him at defensive end, maybe you can expect bigger things from him. I certainly don't anticipate that they'll attack J.J. Watt, so what you going to do? You're going to go in the other direction. You're going to attack Jadeveon Clowney. Bill Belichick is going to attack that area. Bill Belichick is who's the guy behind on the sideline that's schematically formulating things to go in that direction. I just believe that combined with how quickly Brissett is going to be asked to get rid of that football. Also, with Brock Osweiler, really, I know he's played 7 games with Denver, but I'm not sold on him yet either. I think it's something that the New England Patriots can take advantage of because they're opportunistic in their own right. And if there's a person you could be opportunistic against, it would be Osweiler.
I will say this about Jadeveon Clowney. Yeah, they're still a work in progress. They put him in a bad position. Part of being a great coach, part of coaching, in my mind, is putting guys in positions to win.
He's not a linebacker.
Right. He's just out in space. That guy was like a baby giraffe out there, right? I mean, he's just stumbling all over the place.
Right.
So all of a sudden, you put him in a position where he can have some success. And the thing about this, on this defense, he doesn't have to be the guy. He just has to be a guy.
You know what though, Mark? To that point,
and is great.
I've been expecting him to have a big season this year. I think he's too talented. Some guys, even if it's like they don't play the game the way you want them to, if that's the knock on him, sometimes it doesn't matter. Randy Moss took plays off, but how many guys were better than Randy Moss? I mean, it's just the way it is. He's super talented, and to your point about the way they use him, what I noticed last week is every time I looked up, there was Jadeveon Clowney lining up on the right side. And I know Watt moves around, but I started seeing really more Jadeveon Clowney coming from the blind side, and he was good. Like, on every possession that I saw, he was doing something where you were like, that was good. That put pressure on the quarterback. Right. That stopped the run. That chased down the ball carrier. Like, just from the way they're using him, it looks to me like, and you would know, the coach knows this from practice, like they're identifying him as their defensive weapon at the moment, obviously probably because J.J. Watt is somewhat compromised still. But that tells me a whole lot the way they're using him.
Well, the other thing is he's getting a lot of the one-on-ones. So because Jadeveon Clowney's getting one-on-ones, because you're still going, how are we going to chip on J.J. Watt? How are we going to double-team J.J. Watt? Merciless has been outstanding as well. And in nickel packages now, they're better with Simon on one edge. They've moved J.J. Watt inside. They've even moved Jadeveon Clowney inside. So now they've got some nickel situations with Merciless on one, Simon on the other.
That's a whole lot.
They're outstanding. And you know what? It all has to tie together. So their back end has also been very good in coverage, which lends itself to you being able to get those kind of coverage sacks if you're relentless up front, and they have been that. So they're an outstanding defense. I'm with you on the offensive side, though. Brock Osweiler has turned the ball over. I think he's thrown 3 interceptions. He threw 2 last week.
Not just that, Mark. McCourty, Chung, Butler, Collins. Yeah. These people are not just experienced. They're experienced in playing with one another. Against Osweiler? I don't know.
Oh, but he's got weapons.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. He's been pretty good so far. But it's a Thursday night. It's short preparation. And he has to go up against these dudes. I could see New England scoring at least a touchdown on defense. And that being the difference in this game?
I think the last 3 times they've played them, they've beat them double digits, and I think New England's put about 40 on them every time. So...
I don't think that'll happen this time.
I don't think it's the same
I don't think so either. Completely different seasons. Thursday nights are always tough to prepare for, especially for the team that has to go on the road. That's exceptionally difficult. I'm really interested to see exactly what Brissett looks like, Jacoby Brissett looks like as the number 3 quarterback.
I also don't actually
defense to have your first NFL start against them.
I actually don't mind the turnovers as much with Brock at this point in the season because he's got weapons on either side of the field. And when you have that, I'd like to see, especially a young quarterback, champing at the bit, willing to make mistakes, because that tells me he's trying to win. He's not afraid to lose. You got Fuller now with DeAndre Hopkins. That's a whole lot. And you got a real guy running the ball. I'd say an elite-ish back running the ball.
And one of the things they are doing, they are pushing it down the field. One of the reasons Brock left Denver, he didn't want to be in Gary Kubiak's offense. That was what he said, because it's not pushing the ball down. They take their shots down the field with those 2 young receivers. And those 2 guys, that Fuller kid he's the real deal, man.
How salty is the rest of the league going to be if they're 3-0, the Patriots, with a 3rd string?
That's another thing. We all know they're going to be like
unreal.
3-1, so they got to lose a game. This is the one they're going to lose.
We'll see. We asked you guys earlier in the show who would win. So 55% of you said that the Patriots will win and move to 3-0. We shall see. Mark, thanks for being with us. Always fun.